training. All right. Now, it is no surprise that if you are a studier or if you are somebody who studies success, you will see the same evidence everywhere. You see high-level successful people, the same evidence are there. I have been somebody who's been studying success for a long, long time. I teach on the subject also for so many, almost 20-something years of constant training and teaching. So I recognize what it takes to be a high achiever. And I like to share some of those ideas with us tonight. All of you listening into this call who have achieved anything of significance in your lives, you will also recognize that some of these key things we're going to talk about tonight are some of the things you employed. All right, some of the things you did to get the kind of results you got with whatever it is that you are very, very proud of that you've achieved or accomplished. Okay? So I have titled tonight's call, Ruling Your World. Okay? Because I don't think your world rules you. I think you rule your world. You are created to take absolute domination of your world. You are the one that is the distinct difference. You are the one that brings that special difference to the world. And you turn the world and shape it the way you choose to shape the world. The world will resist you, but as you master the world, it will give way to you. It has to, so that you can rule it. Okay? And so that's really what I want to speak on tonight. Now, for us as a company, we are a company that I like to say to people that we are a company way ahead of our time. Okay? Our maverick CEO and visionary leader who founded this company, Fred P. Stige, is a visionary. And he's somebody who is way ahead of his time in terms of how his mind works, in terms of his vision for Origin. I have been with him from day one in launching Origin, and we have been through a lot of transitions since we have launched this company. I like to say that it is not dissimilar to somebody or to a rocket that has been launched into space. In fact, a rocket is way too hard. Let's use an airplane. If you are traveling in an airplane tomorrow, for example, you get in an airplane, 70 to 90% of the time that airplane is off course. You have to keep on steering it, or you program it so that it stays on course. If not, it will be off course. All right, same as a rocket going into space. You have to you have to keep repositioning. The same as launching a company, and the same as living our lives. You would testify yourself to your own life that you've had to realign until you hit the target, until you hit bullseye. Okay? That's exactly what we have done as a company. We have realigned, and right now we achieved our second year in business in May of this year, and we decided to power up. What I mean by power up, move to the next level of impact as a company. So with that in mind, we are going to be launching revolutionary stuff from the end of August, latest beginning of September, but we believe it will be available end of August. We'll begin to move into the direction that I believe firmly will generate our first $1 billion for us as a company. Okay? And I think it will change everybody's lives listening in on this call tonight, as long as you do some of these things that we are going to be sharing on this call tonight. Okay? So first of all, we are really privileged to have you. We have some phenomenal people in Origin. It's a privilege to serve amongst you, by your side, to wage good warfare and to achieve the kind of results we are looking to achieve shortly with all of you. All right, so thank you and welcome. Now, let's get into our training for tonight. I want to discuss 10 key principles that you need or you require to rule your world. These 10 key principles. These are not exhaustive, which means, you can add to these, obviously. But these 10 principles are key in my experience. All right? From my own history. These 10 are fundamental. There's an 11th imagination, which I didn't have time to add on to my topic tonight, but I'll touch on that briefly. All right? So what are the principles we are talking about? The first one, without question, is your attitude. Now, the attitude is what sets the scene, what sets the stage for any achievement. It is the attitude, as we'll look at tonight. The second, of course, is what do you believe? Because, it's your desire. Nothing great has ever been achieved without the force of desire being activated. It is impossible. Okay? The third, of course, is to talk about what you believe. The wrong beliefs have seen people kill themselves. The wrong beliefs have seen people tie bombs, explosives around in their own bodies and blow themselves up for the wrong beliefs. But they believed those beliefs were true or were correct. Because they believed those beliefs were correct, they took massive action to the point of actually giving up or losing their lives. But over a lie. But for them, they thought it was the truth. Chantal, can you hear me now?
Yes, you're back. Thank you.
Oh, say, okay. Thank you for that. Thank you very much. I don't know what happened, but you know how it is. The volume is mute. My sound has gone. Lost sound. Okay. I hope you can all hear me now. Okay? I hope you can all hear me now. That's good. Good. Okay. So I was talking about developing the correct content. Hold on, let's see what the message is. One moment. Can now hear. All right, okay. Good, you can hear me now. Thank you very much. All right. So I talked about developing the correct content. And what does that really mean? You've got to have something to say. You've got to have something inside of you to give to the world. And we're going to talk about that. All right? Awesome. Let's look at the eloquence of action. Shakespeare said it. All right? I didn't know there was anything like an eloquence of action. But Shakespeare coined that phrase. He says, begin to take action so that you can create an eloquent outcome. All right, so we're going to look at the big A, action. Very powerful. Okay, Andres, thank you. Okay, everybody can hear. That's good. Right, next we're going to look at how you execute. You're going to discover how important the correct execution is. All right? Very, especially in our business, in our game, you're going to see how critical being able to execute is. And this is where a lot of people fall down, on the executing side of things. We're going to look at that and what exactly I mean by execution. Is it shooting somebody? No. It means delivering your work at a superior level. All right? Then we're going to talk about how to develop intestinal fortitude, the part that persistence plays in your success. because you can't succeed without persistence. We're going to look at that as well. And then we're going to look at how you master human relationships. Why? Because everything you get out of life is going to come from people. If people don't like you, you got a problem. So we're going to look at how you master that special relationship with human beings so that doors of opportunities can be opened to you. And then finally, we're going to look at how you turn adversity into equity. Very important. So all the trials, catastrophes, difficulties, how do you turn it around? How do you turn it around into equity? We're going to look at those. So these are the things we want to cover tonight, okay? I'm going to go very fast, all right? So that's kind of high octane, and then we have a chat later, all right? So let's get started. Let's get into it right away. Now, the starting point to any achievement in life is your attitude. Your attitude plays such a significant role in your achievement. Your attitude has to do with how you see things, how you interpret things. Somebody who is a positive thinker with a positive attitude will always see the sky blue. Somebody who has a negative attitude will always see under darkness. They always see the negative side to everything. You will tell that person, I want to share with you an opportunity that can generate $250,000, $500,000, $100,000 a year for you. And the first thing they say to you is that, my goodness, you're going to have to pay a lot of taxes for that. That tells you the kind of attitude that person has straight away. While the right pragmatic mindset will tell you how exciting. Tax is the least of their problem, because if you can generate the income, of course, you have enough money to pay tax. All right? And somebody with a correct attitude, you will see straight away, oh, how far do I have to come? How far do I have to travel? When is it? What time? As opposed to when. You know, where? When? You know, I'll meet you. Just talking to people, you would discover what kind of attitude they have. Attitude is an awesome thing because the people who radiate the correct attitude always attract the right people and right circumstances to them. But those who are constantly radiating the wrong attitude usually attracts things to their lives that they don't want. It's a law of nature, all right? Our lives are not dictated by what happens to us, but by how we choose to interpret what happens to us. Our lives are not dictated by what life brings us, but the attitude we bring to life. Everybody that has gone through trials and that have reached the highest pinnacle of success, if you study those people, you would discover infectious attitude. Whether you study the late Nelson Mandela, or whether you encounter a Bill Clinton or a Tony Blair, or Pope John Paul II that's passed on, Mahatma Gandhi, Martin Luther King, or Barack Obama, any of the superstars in the culture today that you encounter, watch out. You will find amazing attitudes. Amazing attitudes. Attitudes that kind of attract. It just pulls you into them. Because they have discovered and learned that life will only give you what you seek for and what you radiate. Okay? Now, Viktor Frankl, who wrote that amazing book, A Man's Search for Meaning, who spent years in the concentration camp. How did he keep his sanity? How did he come out of that camp alive? He gave a very, very important quote, and here is a quote from his book. He says, everything can be taken from a person. They can take everything away from you. But the last of the human freedoms that nobody can take away from you is the ability to choose your own attitude in any given set of circumstances, in any situation you find yourself in life. You choose your attitude. You choose your own way. That is a freedom that you have that nobody can take away from you. Doesn't matter where you find yourself. You have the ability to make your own choice. For example, hey, I found myself in this situation. I'm going to choose to act this way. I'm going to choose to smile. I'm going to choose to say hell first. I'm going to choose to say that life has the best in store for me. It doesn't matter what I've gone through. I am choosing to demonstrate that I expect life to give me what I crave because it has to. I know some people have seen me down and out, but I believe I'll be back up again. You see, the right attitude is infectious. You can't keep the person with the right attitude down. You cannot. Okay? Because that attitude creates a way for them. Continue with attitude. Everyone was born to soar. Everyone was born to soar. Everyone listening to this call tonight, you were born to fly in the high heavens, fly with the eagles, soar. But your attitude is what will dictate how high in life you actually soar. Excuse me, do you know your attitude will make people decide whether they wanted to talk to you or not? Your attitude will dictate whether they want to allow you into their circle or not. I am privileged to have a lot of friends in very, very high places. But these people, I notice that because of my attitude, a lot of them are just attracted to me. I want to be my friend because of my attitude. They want to be around me. Some tell me, listen, we just want you to come. Whenever you're coming to visit us, don't come and spend an hour. You must spend your day with us. These are significant individuals. And they tell me, you can't leave, come and spend your day. They want me in their room when they are discussing big deals. They just want me near them. Attitude. I could tell you stories and stories about attitude. Even in Origin, since we launched Origin, the attitude we've had to demonstrate that has taken us through a lot of difficult paths to where we are today requires a correct attitude. Okay? Everyone was born to soar, but you will not know how high you were meant to soar until you begin to spread your wings. So begin to spread those wings tonight and believe that you can sail or attain the highest heights that life has in store for you. If you remember some of these things we are discussing today, make it part of you. Make it part of your nature to always see the best out of situation, no matter how much situation wants to drive you down or knock you out. Find something to hold on to. Find something that will allow you to smile. Find something that will give you meaning out of that situation. Find something that will help you to interpret the situation the way you want to interpret it to empower yourself. The great news is that you can learn to have the right attitude. You can learn to see the best in people, to see the best in life. Okay? So what is your attitude towards your colleagues that you work with? When they see you, are you the kind of person that they want to run away from? They say, oh, so and so is coming to the room. When you come into the room, do you bring darkness with you, or do you bring light with you? Some people just walk into the room and the environment becomes dark, unhappy. They carry it. It's terrible. Some people come, they bring sunlight, sunshine, good cheer with them. What is your attitude towards work? Are you the type of person who says, well, I'll only just do a little bit more than I'm paid, just a little bit that I'm just going to do, because what? It's not my company, I'm just going to do a little bit. Or is your attitude to deliver and give your best? What is your attitude towards excellence, doing things right? What is your attitude towards your friends, your family members? Your attitude plays a role in every aspect of your life. People say, oh, if they are nice to me, I'll be nice to them. Wrong attitude. Choose to create your own environment by demonstrating the right attitude first. When you go into restaurants to eat, ensure the correct attitude. Ensure the kind of service you're going to get by upfront letting that waiter know you are a great woman or you're a great man. The amount of times they've given me things for free, you could ask my family. I'm telling you. They said, no, because of your attitude, you can have this. Because of your attitude, you can have that. You can have this upgrade. Because of your attitude, no, people don't smile at us when they come in here. You can have these drinks. You can have all the time. And it's so simple. Smile at people. Remember their names. Look at their name badge. Call them by their name. Say hello. You've worked so hard. It's been a long day. I hope you don't have long toe. Smile. Little things. Little things. They remember you. The amount of times, listen, the last time I probably mentioned to you, I went into this African takeaway place to get some African meat, which we call suya, which is spiced beef with some nice dry powdery sauce on it. And I went in there, young girl from university, probably about 20, 21, the most amazing attitude. I was so impressed. My daughter, my 8-year-old daughter was with me. And we both went in there to buy this takeaway stuff. And I said to her, I said, you have the most amazing attitude. Oh, thank you. She looks very pretty, very clean. The smile lit up the entire room. I said, you know, the people who own this restaurant are very clever to put you out here. They're very smart. She's smart. Guess what? She gave me my food. We left. She forgot to charge me for the food. We got in the car. I said to my daughter, I said, look, we've not paid. She said, oh, Daddy. I said, yeah, let's go back and go. So I went. She was so embarrassed. She said, it's all your fault. She forgot to charge me for the food. That's what happens when you make people feel good. All right? Next thing I want to talk about is your desire. There's desire and there's burning desire. There's a difference. Okay? The kind of desire I'm talking about here right now is burning desire. This is the kind of desire that makes your mouth dry. You know, the saliva in your mouth just dries up. This is the kind of desire that makes you toss and turn in your bed because you want something so bad you can't sleep. You're just tossing and turning. Your heart is ablaze. You want it so bad. That's what we mean by burning desire, because that is where the real power is. Desire is good, but when you have burning desire, it takes it to another level. We've been told that 211 degrees will give you hot water. 211 degrees will give you hot water. If you add just one more degree, 212, it will give you steam. You see the difference between hot water and steam? Hot water will not be able to power a steamship around the world. It could not power a steam train, a locomotive train around the world. But one more degree would give it steam. Steam can power a ship. Steam can power a train. That one extra degree is what we call burning desire. It takes that desire to a totally new level. Okay? So, we're talking burning. Burning. Your hands are dry. Your hands are sweaty, rather. Your mouth is dry. Your heart is thumping. You are tossing. Night comes, it becomes day. You want it so bad. Something about desire begins to bring and attract to you the things that you are craving for. If that is a woman, you would notice for a man, if a man wants a woman, the man becomes exceedingly creative. It doesn't matter if that woman says no to him. If he believes he's got a chance somewhere, he will become extremely creative. He will change his aftershave. Maybe that didn't do it. He will change his style of dressing. Maybe that don't do it. He will tease and try to take her for a drink. She says no. He tries for dinner. She says no. He borrows his friend's car. She says no. He gets his own car. She says no. He tells her, listen, I am not giving up. She smiles. He says, I've told you I'm not interested. Have you wondered sometimes you see some of the most gorgeous women with some of the most terrible looking guys? Have you wondered? How on earth did that guy get that girl? He probably did not give up, and she grew to like him. And before you know it, they are a unit. She's got babies for him. The same with a woman. The same with any serious thing you want out of life. God has given you for free that force of desire. We don't know what it is, but when that desire is turned on, you become unstoppable. Your creative juices flow by itself. By itself. You become creative by yourself. All right? You determine what action to take by yourself. That is the power of desire. It catapults you and propels you into massive creativity and action. This is why people have always, they say one person with belief or one person with true desire is equal to 99 people who have only interest. We are not looking for people who have interest. We are looking for people who have desire. Desire and burning desire to get what they want. That is what makes the difference. That is what attracts special people to the company. Because what they want is not ordinary. Okay? And they are driven by their desire levels. The immortal Mark Twain said that I can teach anybody to get what they want out of life. The problem is I can't find anybody to tell me what they want. Do you know, if I could see you right now, if I'm in front of you and we carried out an audit to find out right now what you want, 9 out of 10 of you will struggle. You have not really captured in essence what you want. Do you know it's not easy to know what you want? If you've not given it a lot of thought, defined it, written it down, created your goals and your objectives out of it, paste it where you can see it, and know unquestionably what you want, and more importantly, why you want what you want. If somebody asks you, you are going to struggle. If I asked you now, tell me, what do you really, really want? You're going to struggle. So that's an exercise for you to do tonight. Take some time, or tomorrow. Take some time to define what you really want out of life. I did this exercise years ago, which means as I take action, I know precisely why I'm taking action and where all my action is leading me. Justice Christiana, can you hear me?
I can hear you now, but you were cut off.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay. All right, Chantal, thank you very much. Dennis Hotel, thank you very much. Okay, awesome stuff. Now, we were talking about your desire. Begin by defining what you really want. I mentioned. You see, when you really think about it, the reason some of you will write money, but money is a means to an end. What is that end? Sorry, who's writing to me? What is that end for you? Is it freedom you want? So that you can do what you want to do without being restricted by anything. What do you want? Think about it for yourself. All right? This exercise in itself, one thing leads to another, to another, to another, until we uncover, just like an onion, we uncover what the real core desire is, which I can't go through tonight. The first expression of the human spirit is desire. Excuse me, did you know that? The first expression of your spirit is desire. Why? Your spirit desperately seeking to express what it innately craves and cherishes, what it craves inside. You are able to express, which means your spirit knows what your conscious mind is trying or looking for. Your spirit already knows, which means it is the one that puts those desires inside you, because it is trying to express itself and to move to superior living. It craves to live in a particular level, at a particular level, in a particular dimension. So the spirit craves and forces you to reach out, to reach out, to reach out, to get it, to satisfy an innate craving. So it keeps propelling you into greatness. This is why you have the desire levels. And there's a simple way you can see people who truly desire something. They tell you everything. Oh, I really want this. Oh, I really want it. This is the proof or the test of that desire is how much they are prepared to pursue it. If they are not pursuing it, it is talk. Somebody says to you, I want to become a supervisor. Or they say to you, okay, hope I haven't lost sound again. Have I lost sound again, people? Okay, thank you. Awinda, I think, Awinda or Susa, I think it's your sound, because they can still hear me. Okay? Thank you. The evidence of your desire is the level of pursuit, which means how much energy and effort do you put behind it? Do you say you want it? Do you say you cherish it? Or do you do something about it? That's what we're talking about. The evidence of your desire is what you do about it. Do you get it? So somebody says, I want to be a senior marketing associate. I want to be a supervisor in 90 days. Watch their corresponding action. Somebody says, I want to open a top Michelin star restaurant. Look at their homes. Do they have any books, any magazines on gourmet cooking, on menu creating, or some of the best chefs in the world, or some of the, do they have any evidence? Somebody says, I love boats. Oh, my heart desires to. You go to their home, do they have any magazine about boats or anything about airplanes if they love airplanes? Or they say, I want to run the marathon, my desire is to run. Do they have any evidence anywhere to show that they've investigated the different type of trainers that can help them to do an excellent job of the running? Is there evidence of them identifying or reading about other people who have run marathons or speaking to people? Do you know what I'm trying to say? Is there proof? Because anything you really want, I mean, if you come to my office, there's evidence. Everywhere you look, there's evidence about what I really want. There's evidence everywhere. I spend a lot of money because it's what I want. I surround myself with the evidence. I am thinking about great thinkers. How do these people think? I'm thinking about great players, their autobiographies, their biographies. How did they think? How did they act? What made them achieve at this level? What is it? These are human beings. How did they get this big? How did they get this far? Why? How? I'm listening to nuggets that I can discover. I'm stretching myself. The evidence of your core desire is your level of pursuit. So I hope you're hearing me loud and clear. Your level of pursuit would distinguish whether you are genuine or you are a fraud to yourself. Okay? The next is beliefs. I don't have to tell you, you know how powerful beliefs are or belief is. A belief people kill others because of their beliefs. Now, what is so interesting about beliefs is that these beliefs could be false or it could be wrong, which means they act on the wrong assumption. But if they believe it to be true, then it is true to them. Zig Ziglar told the story of somebody, a Cuban guy who got into an airplane and he held up the pilot with a bar of soap. He put his hand in his pocket, pointed something in his pocket behind the guy's back, says, I've got a gun. Turn this around. And the pilot acted accordingly because they thought he had a gun. Somebody else, another exercise was done where they took an ice cube, and they used the ice cube and they used it to sharpen it and prick somebody behind the neck. They told them it was hot coal. And their body reacted in blisters as if it was hot coal. But it was ice cube. If your mind tells you it is true, then it is true to you. Whether it is false or not is irrelevant. The mind believes it to be true, it is true. The other issue is, what are the things that you have believed for so long that is not true? That's why you must challenge and investigate your beliefs. Challenge and investigate what you believe. You know, so many people believe money is the root to all evil, or of all evil. And there are people listening into this call right now who may say that is a true statement, but it's not a true statement. That's an incorrect statement. And you must have heard a lot of people say it over the years. It has spread like wildfire. You find the uninitiated telling you money is the root of all evil. Money is the most important thing you can have in life after breath. Okay? Only people who don't understand tell you, because in the things that money can get you, there is absolutely nothing that can replace money in the area where money operates. And that's in most things in life. So nobody who is mature will tell you money is not important unless they are poor. Okay? Now, here's what's interesting. That statement says, for the love of money is the root to all evil. For the love of money, which means the point is this is a phrase from the Holy Bible from antiquity. The point it's trying to make here is that because of the love of money, so many people have found themselves doing compromising things to make money. They've carried drugs. They have inserted drugs into different parts of their body. Some have swallowed drugs. Some have carried dead kids, sewn the stomach of the dead kid with drugs, and carried the kid like a live child in an airplane to travel. People have prostituted themselves for money. So what it's trying to say here is that the love, which means the over loving of money, has led people to do some of the most terrible things because they want that money at all cost. So it's saying that the love of money is the root to all evil. It didn't say money. It says the love. Overly loving it so that it compromises your values and your integrity. Then it becomes evil. Right? So, what are you believing that is not true? For so many years and decades, a lot of people believe that black people actually had tails. There are places in the UK here, in the 60s and even the 70s, they'll be looking and they're expecting to find a tail, like a monkey's tail, if you're a black person. They believed it. All right? Now, till this day, a lot of people believe that if you go to Africa, you actually live on trees. Somebody asked me that in America years ago. I said, is it true that they live on trees? I said, sure. I said, well, your president just came back from Africa. Guess where he lived? He was living in a tree. And they laughed. This was a professor. And he laughed and felt so stupid. But you see, what they believe becomes their reality, but it's not true. So you got to kill a lot of sacred cows. And the worst kind of the belief is the type that makes you to go take other people's lives or take your own life based on lie. So Benjamin Disraeli, the only Jewish minister that Britain ever produced, he said, I have brought myself by a long meditation that a human being with a settled purpose must surely accomplish it. He said that nothing can resist a human will that will stake even existence on its fulfillment. He says nothing can stop a human being that will stake their lives in fulfilling what they want. He says nothing will stop them. You are going to need belief. The biggest belief you are going to need is not the belief whether people believe in you. That's not the biggest belief you are going to need. There are so many students that their teachers told them that they are not going to amount to anything. There are so many students that teachers told them you are never going to be a great basketball player, or you're not going to be a great golfer, or you are not going to be a great, you're not going to go to university, you're not smart enough. And they have proved their teachers wrong so many times. The biggest belief you are going to need is the belief in yourself. The entire world can tell you you can't do anything, and it would not affect you. Hear what I'm saying to you. It doesn't matter what the world tells you. What is important is what you tell yourself. It doesn't matter if the world tells you you are a nobody, you will go nowhere. What is important is whether you believe them. If you don't believe them, it does not matter an iota. What matters is what you believe. So the most important voice in the entire universe is your own voice. What you are telling yourself and what you are believing. If you believe you are going to achieve the most staggering success, you are going to achieve it. If you believe you are going to make it happen, you are going to make it happen. Belief is critical. It is what I call your foundation. It is what you stand on. Your attitude gets it ready. Your belief is what enables you to stand unshaken so that you can go after what you want without being tossed to the left or tossed to the right by every wind that blows on you, because you are solid. The law of belief says whatever you believe with conviction will become your reality. The verb there, you can see there's conviction, all right? The power here is conviction. That's the power word there. Whatever you believe with conviction will come to pass. Okay? Will come to pass. Conviction is the key. You are believing it, but that conviction adds, it's like I told you about that one extra degree, that steam. 211 degrees make hot water, 212 degrees make steam, and the difference between hot water and steam, I mentioned to you a few moments ago, is the same as belief. When you are convinced or convicted, that's that extra 1 degree, takes your belief to another level. It delivers and releases power that you will never believe. This is why you have to be careful what you believe and test what you believe. It could make you or it could destroy you. You will always act in a manner that is consistent with your deepest and most intensely held beliefs, whether they are true or not. You will find yourself acting in a manner that is consistent with your deepest. You see, another word for that conviction is deepest. All right? Those two, exactly same meaning. Deepest held belief or conviction. You see? Whatever you hold deep to be true, whether it's true or not, if you believe it to be true, then it's going to be true for you. And you're going to bring it to pass. That's the power of the human mind. All right? That's why it's so important to clear your mind and know what you believe. Because your mind doesn't know whether it's true or not. If your mind believes you believe it, they're going to help you get it. You know, my mother used to, many years ago, my mom and I were almost inseparable. They're much better now that I'm much older. They were very embarrassing when I was younger. We were too close. All right? I love my mom to bits. And about 12, 15, 16 years ago, she's feeling great today. Next week, she's not feeling great. It's been like that for as long as I can remember. And she used to say these things. And then she had a bad accident. And in fact, we had to bring her over to the Netherlands, in Holland, where she went through some kind of operation to fix the nerve. She could only sleep on a plank. She couldn't sleep on anything like a mattress. So it has to be a flat wooden plank that she could lie on, and it was terrible. And every time she used to say these words, I just want to die. I just wish I would just die. I wish God would just take me. I wish I would just die. You know, one day I had enough of it. So I flew from London to go see her in the Netherlands. My younger brother lives in Holland. So I came to see her there. And I said to her, I said, Mom, I said, let me ask you a very important question. She was looking at me. I said, do you really want to die? She was wondering where I was going with this. She said, I said, I'm tired of life. I'm tired. I said, no. I said, Mom, you didn't listen to my question. Do you really want to die? Or are you saying it because you are frustrated? This pain is... She thought about it. She says, no, I don't want to die. So I said to her, I said, guess what? I said, if you keep saying that, guess what's going to happen? Your mind does not know whether you really mean it or not. All your mind hears you saying all the time, or verbalizing using your own mouth, is that you want to die. So sooner or later your mind is going to say, okay, I have received these messages so many times. I've heard it. I've received it. This woman wants to die. Let me help her. Guess what the mind begins to do? The mind begins to find the best way of killing her. You see, people say things they don't understand. Miracle that a human being is. You're a miracle. You have powers you do not know of. And there are things you say you don't mean. Don't say them. Because when you say them from your mouth, you have released it into the universe. The universe has ears, and they receive those impressions or those words, and they help. The same way success works, it is the same way wrong things that you verbalize also work. Your mind does not know whether it's true or not. It just thinks you want it because you are saying it. She stopped saying it from that day. I mean, I just gave you the nice bit. I really went into it with her deeply. I've not heard her say that word. in 16, 17, whatever years, when she understood. Do you understand? Don't say things you don't mean. Excuse me. Okay? Because your mind will act to bring what you want. So think on great things that you want to happen. Think success. Think pleasant thoughts. Think pure thoughts. Think things you want to come into your life. And say those things. And that's what life will bring to you. All your beliefs are learnt and adopted. You did not always have them. And your beliefs will always determine your reality. Okay? So I think we have an idea about the role that belief plays. So when you see us building our origin business, you understand what allows us to achieve. You understand why we are able to put together large teams of people, thousands of people. You're able to understand why we get the kind of results we get. It is not by accident. You can see certain principles that we are applying that generates the result, because most people want to follow people who are like these. They don't want to follow people who are negative, who speak negative words all the time, who have no belief, who don't believe in anything. They don't want to follow people like that. They don't want to follow people who have no desire, burning desire to accomplish anything great in life. They don't want to follow people like that. They don't want to follow people who have the most terrible attitudes. They don't want to follow people like that. So you're beginning to understand why some people generate and get success while others are still struggling to do so. You can see why. Okay, that was a bit of a mouthful. All right. Next is developing the will to win. Listen. Developing the will to win is great, but developing the will to prepare to win is even more important. What do I mean by that? Somebody says, I want to become a heavyweight boxing champion. I want to become an Olympic athlete. Or I want to become a super entrepreneur. Now, once you make those declarations, the universe hears you and your subconscious hears you. Everyone hears you. When I mean everyone, the world is listening to you. All right? The next thing that happens is they are waiting to see whether you have the corresponding action to go get what you say you want. So if you want to be an Olympic athlete, what will you do? Well, part of what you need to do is to prepare, isn't it? You can't just show up one day on the world stage and then you win 100 meters, 400 meters, or you will long jump or whatever it is, or a boxing championship. No. You just don't get up one day and become a super entrepreneur. No. There are specific things you need to do. For example, you have to prepare to win. So somebody who wants to be a boxing champion in the world has the will. He says, I want to win. Great. That's first base. What's the second base? What are you going to do to win? Now, that's the hard bit. That's the hard bit. Because this is the bit where he has to get up from that beautiful sleep at 4 a.m. in the morning. When you and I are still sleeping, he, if it's a he, has to get up, put on his jogging pants, trainers, go in the dark, and begins to run 3 miles, 4 miles, 5 miles, 6 miles. Guess what? Probably he does this 4, 5 times a week. You get the picture? That is the will to prepare. He has the will already to win. The other thing is that the evidence of whether he's really serious is what we are looking for now. Yeah? So the super entrepreneur who wants to achieve, what kind of preparation are you, listening into this call tonight, making to win? What are you reading? What are you watching? What are you studying? Who's providing you with watching? What kind of action are you taking? How many people have you spoken to today? How many will you speak to tomorrow? How many presentations have you done today? How many will you do tomorrow? How many will you do in a few days' time? How many will you do in a week? The will to prepare to win. Preparation. That's the key. That's the key. When you see a Lionel Messi, or you see a Ronaldo, or you see a Neymar play the way they do, trust me, it's not accidental. They have the will to win. But you are not there when they are kicking that ball 1,000 times, 5,000 times, 3,000 times, aiming that ball, aiming that. You're not there. That's the will to prepare to win. Even bigger than the will to win. One of the most legendary coaches, Vince Lombardi, says winning isn't everything, but the will to win is everything. You know why? Because if you have that will, you can win multiple times over and over again. It is that will to prepare that generates the result you want every time. What sacrifices are you prepared to make to accomplish your dreams? Anybody who tells you there's no sacrifice is a liar. Anybody who has achieved anything. I was watching the tennis championship yesterday. Amazing game. I don't know if any of you saw it at Wimbledon with one of my favorite players, Roger Federer, and Novak Djokovic. My God, you need to see the will to prepare to win and the will to win in action. That's why, I mean, the guy was, what's his name? Roger Federer he was the runner-up, but I think he got £850,000, $1.7 million for being a runner-up. And Novak got 1.6 or 1.8 million. I can't remember what almost $3 million for that match they played yesterday. So the question I want to ask you is that money, do you think that money was because of the match they played yesterday for 3 hours, 3.5 hours, or do you think that money is all their preparation to get to that point? You begin to see what I mean. The preparation, the sacrifices, that's the key. What are you prepared to sacrifice to get what you want out of life? Because life will ask you to pay. You must pay. Everybody pays. Develop the correct content. In 2005, a very, very young man came out to speak at the Democratic National Convention in the U.S., and he was introduced to the world. His name was Barack Obama. He came up, young, good-looking guy, came to the stage, and he spoke. It was electrifying. The minute he spoke, we are told that all eyes were fixed on him. All eyes were fixed on him. Why were all eyes fixed on him? Not because of his good looks, I can tell you that. There are more good-looking people than him. All eyes were fixed on him because besides his good look, besides his oratory or his eloquence, he also had something to say. He had content. He had content. He had something to say. This is so important, all right? Because you can dress so good, you can put on the best aftershave, the best tie, best dress, best shoe, best handbag, and then the moment of truth, when they want to find out what's going on in your mind, as a moment of truth, then they know whether all of those things, what we call a facade, that there's nothing. That's where you've lost the plot. All right? Understand your differential advantage. Your differential advantage is understand what you do so well that sets you apart from everyone else. What is it? That's your differential advantage. Become a master of your chosen craft. Look, we have Justice Fomenke listening in. She's a High Court judge for decades. We got all kinds of, Roger. Roger owns Michelin star restaurants. If you know how successful Michelin star restaurants are, Mr. Sterenberg in Holland owns 2 or 3 of those. So I was told. Elliot Omose has a biotechnology company. Richard Tezo is a lawyer practicing law. I am a professional speaker. I run a corporate training company for the past how many years? But we are all in origin. Why? There's something that's brought us together. One is the mission of origin, to rescue malnourished children. But if it was only that, many of us will not be involved. We'll just donate some of our time, that's it. There is more. There's the opportunity to achieve freedom. Freedom that then allows us to do anything we want to do with our lives without money or anything dictating. Do you get it? We are buying our freedom, but it costs to buy your freedom. To do that, you got to become a master of your craft. You got to know what you're doing. You got to become so good at what you're doing that people say, I don't know what it is, but there's something special about this lady. I just want to follow. What one thing are you known for that you do so well right now, outside of origin? Are you brilliant at cooking? Do you have an eye for detail? Are you the most amazing organizer? You're able to organize things? Are you brilliant at promoting things, events or whatever? Are you a superior league mind? Are you brilliant with numbers? Can you sing so well? Listen, or whatever else. What one thing do people know you for that they say, listen, they've been telling you for a long time? Everyone has got them. Do you follow? Everyone's got them. I have been speaking for such a long time. People have been asking me to do weddings when I was 20-something years old. I've been studying. I've had a fascination with words since I was 9, 11. There's always an evidence and a clue to what you're going to do. You've got it. What is yours? That thing that you do better than anyone else. In your opinion, what one thing are you known for? One. What is your quantifiable value? If I had some time to go through something like this tonight, because I need to wrap up quickly. Your unique quantifiable value to the market, that the market is prepared to pay for. I did 1-day, 2-day trainings, and it can command anywhere from 3,000 to 7,000 pounds for 1 to 2-day training, because of the value I'm bringing. Sometimes 3 days, sometimes 4 days. I can deliver a keynote speech, 1 hour, and they can pay me up to 3,500, 4,000 pounds for 1 hour speech. Why? Some people can only pay 800. Some people can pay 1,500. If it's corporate, 3,500, 4K. Why? Value. Value. You have to have value to command that kind of money. Do you follow? What is your value to the market? How much is the market prepared to pay for your value? Taking action. To map out a course of action and follow it to an end requires courage. But it has to be intelligent action. Why? Because you don't want to go down the wrong road. If you go down the wrong road, it will lead you to the wrong end and wrong goal. So it has to be intelligent action. Not any road will do. There's nothing more frightful than ignorance in action. Ensure you take intelligent action. Action that requires, I've told people, there are individuals that we started in Origin together, and when they were so excited, I said, listen, let me give you counsel. There are some things you don't need to do. Oh, buddy, don't worry. But don't worry, I know what I'm doing. Honestly, it's really exciting. He wasted a lot of money printing things for his car that he can give to people they can put on their cars. He printed a lot of leaflets for them to go and give away to people in the train station, leaflets. Leaflets in train stations, you are wasting your time. All right? Most of it goes straight away in the bin. That's true. Unless in places like Africa where leaflets still work, or you're looking to promote some things where it works. In our business, they have been giving leaflets for 20-something, 28-something odd years. People are used to it. If you give out 5,000 leaflets, you might have 3 people or 4 people show up. Those are ridiculous odds, isn't it? If it's just leaflet that you want to have like a calling card, that's different. Not leaflet that you want to go out to give to strangers who don't know you with the hope that you will attract them, unless it's a kind of leaflet I've never seen before. Or they can put in their cars. And you print boxes of them. Take intelligent action. Don't take action that will frustrate you, that it doesn't work. All right? Master superior execution. The world is not looking for people with ideas, believe it or not. The world is, in fact, the world is, what's the word I'm looking for? It's overrun with ideas. There's so much ideas in the world. Ideas are no longer the key prerequisite anymore for discovery, or because there are so many ideas. What the world is looking for today is executors of those ideas. They will pay the highest premium for executors. That's why those of you listening into this call who are what I call launchers, who are able to launch businesses or launch Origin, that's why you're worth your weight in gold. And that's why you're going to find the kind of success you're going to have, because launchers are rare. Excuse me. Those who can really execute, take the idea, turn it into a reality. This is why people like Michael Jordan, who defied gravity, they could write their own checks, worth over $650 or $700 million, because he executed at a different level. Same as Tiger Woods, same as all these people you know about today, same as the Hollywood stars who are commanding 20 million, 25, 30 million per film. Why? Executors. Same as the business world. Executors. Develop habits of the diligent. Notice what it says. Develop habits of the diligent. Not develop habits of the hard workers. There's a difference between hardworking and diligence. Diligent, when you have some time, go and study that word. Diligent encompasses several ideas. 1, conscientiousness. 2, thoroughness. 3, meticulousness or excellence. This is why when you find somebody who is diligent, you always find them hanging out with kings. So when I mean kings, with significant people. They don't hang around with just because they are courted by the world because they are brilliant at what they do. Develop the habits of a diligent person if you want to really succeed. Don't be average. Go to the next level. The traffic is very thin at the next level because most people are at the bottom where there's a lot of traffic, busy, going nowhere. Decide to be in the top 1%, top 3%, top 5%, and you find out that the air is fresher. There isn't a lot of traffic. They spot you easily because it's not too crowded. Go there. Determine to leave your signature on your work. Master the art of work. What a joy when you really understand that work allows you to unveil your potential. Work is the only thing, there are two things that helps you to realize or to discover your potential. Two things. One is pressure. The second is work. Pressure, it is the pressure that enabled the pearl to become so valuable. It is the pressure it had to go through. All right? It is pressure that will reveal the pearl or the diamond in you. The other thing that will reveal your potential is your work. Most people do not know that work actually allows you to reveal what you're made of. If I had the time. All right? I didn't have time for that tonight. Excellence and quality, you would never find it by accident. You will never find quality and excellence by accident in any sphere of life. Nothing that is excellent or of high quality is by mistake or excellent. It is the product of high intention. It is intentional. How about committing yourself today to become a person of excellence and a person of quality? You just have to make up your mind. That's all. Strength. Inside strength. You're going to need inside strength. I call it intestinal fortitude, strength of character. You're going to need it, and that's persistence. Napoleon Hill, the guy who gave us the book Think and Grow Rich, he says, the quality of persistence is to the character of man as carbon is to steel. You know, when you melt steel, did you know that steel is supple, almost liquidy when you melt it? The minute you expose that steel to carbon, it becomes steel. So what it's telling you right here is that the way carbon, that air or carbon, turns that liquid into steel is the same way you need persistence to develop your character. Persistence is what turns you into a man, into a woman. It is the persistence that reveals the 24-karat gold that you are. You got to be persistent. You can't give up on things. No, you got to try. Test yourself. Push yourself. See how far you can go. If that road is blocked, try another road. If that road is blocked, try another road. If that road is blocked, try another road. That's why you are a human being. Calvin Coolidge says nothing in the world can take the place of persistence. It says even talent is not superior than persistence, because nothing is more common than unsuccessful people who have talent. He says even genius will not take the place of persistence, because unrewarded genius is almost a proverb. He says the mighty education, when you see people all over the place, I got a PhD. He said, listen, education will not take the place of persistence, because the world is loaded with educated derelicts. People who are educated but who are nobodies. The world is full of them. Look at where you are. Look around you. You find them all over the place. It's not education. Persistence and determination are omnipotent. Powerful stuff. Powerful stuff. This is why you are seeing in our industry, average people who could never get a job are becoming millionaires. You are finding in our industry right now of multi-level marketing, network marketing, you are finding college kids, 24, 25, 23, 27, earning over $1 million a year because they don't need education. They have a different type of education. It's the education of the market. These people have learned to use their God-given talent and skill and persistence to go and get what they want. Energy and persistence will conquer everything for you. Okay, we're wrapping up now. All right, so mastering human relationships. I'm just going to skim through this real quick because we've talked a bit about this. All this really means, essentially, is that people will open up every door. Everything you and I want out of life will come from people. That's the message here. Which means if you know everything's going to come from people, you want to become better at dealing with people. You want to understand interpersonal skills, how to communicate, how to smile, how to listen, all those things. Improving your verbal communication, learn to speak. Speaking is so powerful if you can speak. Learn. You can learn all this stuff. That's what's telling you there. And finally, turning your adversity into equity. The reason I have the image there of Lincoln, most people say he's been the greatest president in America ever. Abraham Lincoln's story, most of you probably know his story. It's incredible. You just cannot believe a human being can go through all that man went through and still survived. But that is why he's been called the greatest American president till this day. Out of every adversity, there is a seed of an equivalent or superior benefit. Napoleon Hill, W. Clement Stone, they've taught the same thing over and over again. Every difficulty that happens to you in life, there is an equivalent or even more powerful benefit waiting for you from that adversity. Now, it's difficult for you to find it when you are going through the adversity, but when you look back in hindsight, you would discover that, hey, because I went through that, I went through that, this happened to me, this happened to me, this happened to me. If I did not go through that, this would never have happened to me. You are able to see the benefit. We call that, in hindsight, a 20/20 vision. The point you need to understand is that every adversity, every trial, every despondency, these things, catastrophes, trials, they are not contradistinctive to taking you to your place. What I mean by that is by contradistinctive, they are not opposite. They are not irrelevant. Trials, adversity, catastrophes, all of these things are necessary to usher you into greatness. If there's nothing else you heard from me tonight, hear what I'm telling you right now. These trials and these difficulties that you go through in life are necessary to strengthen you just like carbon strengthens steel. But I'm telling you right now that every trial, adversity, these difficulties you go through in life, they are necessary to take you to your place of power. They are necessary to take you to the mountaintop. You need them. Those things you are fighting against is what you actually need to take you to the very top. Because you don't get to the top by just walking and strolling your way to the top. You are challenged and forced and pushed through those difficulties, you come out at the end 24 karat gold. You need them as prerequisites to take you to your mountaintop. Ladies and gentlemen, I am trusting that you have found this of great benefit for you tonight, and it helps to inspire you a bit or strengthen you a bit. All right?